got this vision. Daggone, man. Brock, I'm messing with your stuff, man. But I just feel like the Lord wants us to stay right here, Michael. If you weren't here Wednesday, it's online. Tabitha gave her testimony. And so it's online, I can tell you. She grew up in a crack house. She was addicted to heroin. She gave her life over to prostitution. And she met Jesus. And the Lord rescued her, and she testified. Anna spoke, and it came from this song. To sing the testimony of the Lord over the earth. To sing the goodness and the glory of God over the earth. To rejoice of the freedom of the glory of God over the earth. Now I knew who was speaking. I knew Anna was speaking. I didn't know Tabitha was speaking. It's pretty ridiculous. And I had a dream that I'm going to read to you. And a dream Wednesday morning, Tuesday night. When I woke up Wednesday morning and I wrote it down. I was in a movie theater greeting people around me, and they all went to Eastside Church. When a girl who did not see herself as beautiful called me with somewhat of a demanding tone saying, "Alex Barefoot, come here." And I looked at the others that I was greeting and said, "Okay then, I guess I'll come over there." And this is just the dream. And I approached the girl. It was a young woman, college age or just beyond. She was extremely embarrassed for her tone of voice in calling me, could hardly speak. I reassured her that everything was all right and she was fine. Her dad was beside her and was very beautiful. He was beautiful inside and out. And he was proud of her daughter. And it seemed to me that he was ready to see her flourish into the woman that he knew she could be. We all were there looking at this young woman, waiting on her to explain why she called me over. And she began to explain that she had something to show me and hit play on some sort of remote in the movie theater. Her documentary began to play in the movie theater. It showed her at home by herself. And in that home, I noticed a bird that was in her house. And she began to approach the small bird. And it turned toward a mouse hole in the wall. Now, the small bird, to me, was a songbird. Anna preached about singing a song of praise to the Lord. And that being your testimony. And so I see this bird in this house. It runs into a mouse hole in the wall. A mouse hole that you'd see in Tom and Jerry. That dates me, does it not? And the bird began to run. It stepped in some red chalky powder. And I couldn't figure out the red chalky powder. Anybody got the red chalky powder figured out already? Crimson, the red chalky powder on the feet of the bird. The kind of chalky powder you'd see in a chalk line in construction work. And the bird ran through the mouse hole, and as the girl bent down to look inside the mouse hole, she realized he went straight through the wall into the street. And she could see the tracks that the bird left on the road from the red chalk and began to follow the tracks. And the tracks led her to Eastside Church. She began to testify about how her journey to Eastside and the ministry of the Holy Spirit through its people had changed her completely. That she was healed and was continuing to be healed. And as she began to give her testimony, her countenance changed in front of our eyes, and she began to manifest healing and health. Her dad was overjoyed and visibly excited. Then the lights came on in the theater, and everyone was still there. I was full, even though the theater was full, even though the documentary had begun. At the end of the movie, nobody laughed. And I looked at those that were behind us, and I said, man, we should have had an Eastside logo rolling and laugh. This is part of the dream. I can't help it. That's just the way my mind works, I guess. I asked the young woman how she was able to do this at the end of the movie, and she said that they let people do stuff like that if you just ask. And then I woke up. And I really didn't understand the dream until I listened to Anna's message about singing our testimony to the Lord to bring glory to him. And there was a sense that God was going to lead people to Eastside for healing, and families were going to be put together again and begin to flourish, and it was going to be announced all over the place. There was going to be a reputation that there was a healing place, that God could do the ministry of the Holy Spirit. I just thought that was pretty crazy. To hear a testimony like that after God speaks blows you away. What it does to me is it makes me understand that God really does care about the small things.